So fair warning, this is not my usual type of farm update video. So over the past month, as I quit my job in DC and moved up to the farm here in northern Vermont, one question I've repeatedly received from folks has been, how did I know I was making the right decision? And the answer is, I don't know that I was making the right decision, and I didn't have any way of knowing that. This entire thing could fail in amazing ways, but I'm actually okay with that, and I know that things are gonna be fine. A couple of years ago, I read this book, and it changed my entire perspective on life and doing what you love and work-life balance and all of those things. So there once was this guy. He went by the name of Mike Hughes. I personally never had the opportunity to meet him, but I actually had the chance to work with a lot of people who knew him really well, and by all accounts, he was a real stand-up guy. Now, Mike was in the advertising industry. He worked at an advertising agency called the Martin Agency down in Richmond, Virginia. He was their creative director. He, I think, ultimately became the president of the agency at one point. And he also suffered from cancer for many, many years. At some point, Mike penned this book. It was small, it was short, it had nice understated black and white photography, it didn't have too many words, and it was titled, Welcome to Our Beautifully Imperfect Company. A few years after it was written, I was actually visiting folks at the Martin Agency, and somebody gave me a copy of the book. So I didn't think too much of it, and I just jammed it into my laptop bag and forgot about it and went about my meetings for the day. And it wasn't until later that night when I was on my flight back home that I pulled it out and read it. I gotta say, I was pretty moved by it. I was actually, there were a couple of tears coming down my face by the end of it. This book is amazing. I've found a lot of motivation and feel like there's some good thoughts inside of here. And because it's not available anywhere online, or at least anywhere online I could find, I figure I'll give you the inelegant Cliff Notes version of it. So in the book, Mike recounts his struggles with cancer and, kind of what he'd been going through. He explained why he kept working even though he didn't have to as he was going through treatment. He also laid out this very profound concept in the book that the idea that you need to balance your work life and your personal life was silly. And what you should be very much focused on is, rather than trying to pursue balance, try to pursue joy in what you're doing. Let me quote the book here. You will find joy if you can learn to find joy in the work itself. The joy can't just come from success at the end of the day. It must come from the work itself. Not just from reaching the peak, but also making the long, hard climb. It's not necessarily the most original idea, but when expressed in that way and in the context that it's written about in this book, it's something that very much sticks with me personally. You should build your life around doing the things that you love with the people you love. All in all, I think it makes for some pretty good advice. Too often, I had been putting the idea of the farm and living a life focused on farming as this goal at the end of a career, this thing that I would do in this next chapter that would just come and happen someday. This process of building out the orchard here and this process of building out the farm, it is the joy itself, and I shouldn't be so focused on the end goal of getting this done or thinking about the end goal of having a whole bunch of trees that are producing fruits and nuts and have a bunch of animals out here someday. I should be focused on finding the joy in the task at hand. Joy is what I seek in life. Messy, unbalanced, unpredictable joy. I'm starting to do something I love with people I love, even if my primary coworker is this filthy barn cat here. So if you're curious about this book, this is my only copy. If you ever come to the farm, I'll be happy to let you read it. You could probably maybe look on eBay, but I just checked and I didn't see any up there. Or you could bug the people at the Martin Agency and tell them to put it online or something, which would be awesome. So yeah, I'm getting close to being done with the trees, but I still got a few more to go. But I'm embracing the process now. It's been sort of a mental flip for me, and I'm feeling much better. You're such a good barn cat. Yes, you are. You're the good barn cat. Yes, you are. Oh, yeah. Good barn cat. Oh, I'm allergic to you, though. You know that, right? Ugh.